People.
Good evening. Can anyone hear us?
Hold on. It's not coming out of the TV. That is an issue. Welcome to the City Pigeons podcast. We are starting off with some technical difficulties that I'm going to have to remedy. I'm not sure why that's working.
Does anyone know sign language in case they can't hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got middle finger means fuck you.
Is that working? Can you hear us, Peter? Yeah, he can hear us. All right, but we're not going to be able to hear him, so that's going to be an issue for us.
That'll
It's going to
be
be a big issue.
Problem.
It's probably my fault. I did the settings wrong. I'm going to have to look into that. Meech, can you talk about lick your boom boom down or something like that?
We can filibuster for you.
Yeah, filibuster. Could you filibuster?
Absolutely. I'm back,
So
baby.
this episode, by the way, people, is called Sitting Pretty because the Birds are here at 6-2, coming off the bye. All systems go. Everybody's feeling like we're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm a little concerned that that's overconfidence and that we're being lured into something. But what do you guys think about that? Go while I try to fix this shit.
Can we talk about our favorite pickup within, since the last time they played?
Yeah, absolutely. Go there.
Gentlemen, hold on. Let's see if I can.
Oh,
There they are.
Yeah, the float. Gentlemen, who's your favorite Eagles? First of all, introduce yourselves. This is Sir Tom Henneman of Baltimore, who's come to grace us in Philadelphia in his later years, and Mark Goodhart of the Mark Goodhart firm, handling all your personal injury needs.
Love always wins.
Don't forget about Impact Athlete Management.
And
Also,
also,
money is the answer.
and if it looks like, what they remind me of? You remember in what's it, the Muppets? Those little floating guys. That background. And it's not our fault, guys. We're at the Coop right now, and they're setting up for a comedy show this weekend, and we really can't touch their shit. So we can't.
I have floating hands.
Yeah, they're basically floating characters. But guys, let us know who's your favorite Eagles pickup in the past 2 weeks, and how do you think the pickups will
Jalen Phillips
enhance the Eagles roster?
Jalen Phillips is the most intriguing to me because it fills a void. And the kid's 26. I know he's had some injury issues. Assuming we're not talking about BG, because BG is more sentimental.
Well, see, I think a lot of people are forgetting about BG.
Well,
That was my answer.
I mean, I love BG as much as anybody, but we'll see what he has left. But just having him in the building is worth whatever it is we're paying him. Just to have him
Mark,
back.
what do you think, my man? Mark?
Mark, I thought you were asking me about the TV.
No.
Oh, my favorite pickup in the last few weeks is evidently that Tom was knighted because you called him Sir Tom Henneman. That would be my favorite thing to happen since I saw him last.
That's just how I treat dignitaries.
No, I'm gonna go straight to Brandon Graham because I don't know if he'll be the most impactful on the field, but I think bringing him back is a direct response to
Thank you, Cody.
just like the fracturing in the locker room that's been going on, and he couldn't save it 2 years ago, but maybe he will be able to this year.
Appreciate you, Cody. Remember that soundbite when Cody Parkey missed, did the double doink, and BG coming off the field to the reporters. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate you, Cody.
That was pretty fun.
I love BG.
What
about you, Meech?
I think Brandon Graham is going to be the most. I think he's fresh. That's what I love about veterans that come back in the middle of the season. They know they don't really have to.
And he knew
follow the training camp regimen and beating yourself up over. So they got the 6-2 or whatever, and now they're ready to go. And BG could just join. And this pass rush is lacking severely, and they need somebody to. And it sucks when you see what's Josh Sweat have 7 or 8 sacks now?
7 at least.
I don't know. I saw him chasing Zach Dak down the other day. I was just like, what the fuck?
It sucks when we can't get any pressure on the QB, but hopefully with Jalen Phillips and he could stay healthy.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. Sorry, folks. We are we're a little thrown off because the monitor that we use to feed volume back to us doesn't seem to be working. And we're going to have a guest joining us momentarily. I'm not 100% sure that's going to work. So
take 5?
No, I'm just there's no stopping and starting this bad boy as far as I know. I don't know how to
once
do
you
that.
turn the faucet on, you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
I can.
So
you can't put toothpaste back in the tube.
Listen.
I feel like this happened the last time I had a guest on.
You know, it's funny. The last time this happened, you had your cousin with
Yeah.
us, and everything just went to hell in a handbasket. This is a peculiar issue because the music on the intro didn't play, and that's how I noticed that it didn't seem like the audio is working. But we wouldn't hear ourselves anyway, so we can only really test it by bringing Peter on. And I feel like we're so scrambled at this point. Maybe we just bring him in and see how it works. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't,
See if we can hear him.
yeah, we're gonna be
Who we
in
bringing in?
up Shit's Creek.
Peter.
Let's see. So this is Peter.
Can you introduce
Peter, can we hear
Hey,
you?
can you hear me?
Oh, we got him.
Damn.
What's happening, my man?
Okay. Sorry. That was a poor intro because I was just trying to see if you were even going to be there in the first place. So
You could send me
Peter-
back out.
wait, I'm going to let Mark introduce you because your name, I've been like in all my social posts, I've wrote Scalletar, I'm really screwing it up. I'm going to let Mark do this because you're
Do we have
homie
the
anyway.
time to allow Mark to introduce anyone?
Go ahead, Mark. What?
You think I'm going to be long-winded? Come on.
Go ahead, Mark.
This is Peter J
Jay.
Scalletar.
Scalletar.
And you know how to spell it. I learned this at a young age. It's Scalletar. That is how you spell it.
Oh.
That's how I was remembered since Peter and I met in the 4th grade. He hails from originally, even though he wants everyone to think that he's either from Philly or LA or maybe New York, he actually hails from Baltimore originally.
Oh, my God.
So you Tommy, and Pete have a lot in common there. Peter is one of my nearest and dearest, oldest family member friends. I love him to death. And he also happens to be the most esteemed documentary filmmaker in the world. And so some of you may have heard of Starting Five, currently airing on Netflix. That's his brainchild. That is his work. And Meech probably also wants to ask him about the Wu-Tang documentary. But without further ado, take it away, gentlemen. Peter Scalletar, welcome to the program.
Peter.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, man. How you doing? Where you
What's
at?
happening, man?
I'm
Wait.
feeling a little. We're wearing the same hat, Mark.
Oh,
Yo.
Was this
Wait,
planned?
hold up.
Was this planned? This had to be planned.
And I think they're both cocked in the same direction. This is
is that where Mark got
lunacy.
it from?
Yeah, I was just gonna
Did
say.
you guys call and plan this?
So we did not plan it, but he did actually send me this hat like a month ago. And as you guys know here, I've been on a strike on the Sixers, but I decided to put this hat on today since I would see Pete, and he happened to be wearing the same hat. And I don't know. I think, yes, Peter and I both wear our hats cocked to the side, always have, always will. What can I tell you?
Is that like if you went to GFS at some point, is that like your statement of like, I'm like a wild creative guy that you kind of have, does everyone from GFS have to do that, or no, is that not a rule?
I think it's
Shots
just,
fired. No,
it feels like it's a Philly thing.
yeah.
There you go.
I feel you.
I always wear mine to the left a little.
Do you?
Yeah, who the hell wears
Slightly.
their hat straight? No one wears their
Slightly.
hat with the
I
brim
wear
straight
mine
ahead unless they're like,
exactly freaking straight. All right, listen,
a
I
nerd.
was thinking about this though. Shout out GFS because I feel like GFS has so many
Are
sneaky.
you talking about Germantown Friends? Because
Yeah.
this was previously introduced. That
No, GFS is Germantown Friends
Do you
School
expect
in
people
Germantown.
to
Sorry.
know this.
Well, Mark went there. I grew up right there. Rocky knows. Like we all know GFS. My bad. Germantown Friends School. But Germantown Friends School has given rise to so many people who have gone out into the creative economy and done amazing things. Obviously, like G Love comes to mind, but there's a lot of people like Peter that have gone on to do a lot of great things. There's something about GFS that just produces
can ball, by the way.
creatives. What?
G Love can ball, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah, he used to ball with us back in the day, 4th and Pine.
That's dope.
And
He was-
Seager Park.
he was
At
good.
Seager
Yeah.
Park, they got
Beautiful. All right. Well, the part where Mark sings
I
is
love
where
when
we
Tom-
move
Dr.
along. All
Tommy
right.
just
So,
disappears
listen.
into the blackness.
So, Peter, Mark has been talking about you for some time. I'm glad we could finally have you on. And I wanted to start with something that I think it's probably going to be pretty rudimentary to you, but you have done various things, and we all hear, producer, writer, director, and you've done like all that different stuff. And I know this could probably go on for 20 minutes, but you get different credits on different things. You play different roles. I'm like somewhat familiar with the difference to an extent, but even I get a little confused. I was hoping you might speak to that real quick, being a guy from LA, having done all this stuff, like the real differences in a nutshell between being a writer, somewhat self-evident, but when you get a producer, director, what exactly is the role that you're playing there?
Showrunners, another
Yeah, well, that's like lower
Yeah.
down the totem pole, I think. I don't know.
No, that's showrunner's a main.
All right, well, he could tell us then.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. But first, I'm just happy to see you guys. I don't think we've ever been in each other's midst where we're all sober. So it's nice to see you like this.
Yo, that's true. There was that one time in LA.
Oof, oof.
Good times.
Peter, give these guys about a half an hour.
Yeah.
and that'll change.
We ramp
Meech
up
will
throughout
get louder,
the show.
and he'll start cursing more.
I slept that whole weekend in Meech's bed. Come on.
Pause. What happened in LA?
Nothing. Meech and Mark and I famously shared a room, and we traversed Santa Monica many times. And we met up with Peter briefly. I know Mark broke off and went to dinner. And at the time, I just remember Mark saying like, "Oh, this is my buddy. He has worked on The Bachelor or something." I was like, "Oh, LA guy." I didn't really know much about you, but then to actually take a dive into the stuff you've done, and I started watching Starting Five, which is fantastic. And then the Wu-Tang stuff. I mean, everything you've done is just unbelievable. But back to my other question real quick, because when we refer to you as, okay, you were a producer here, a director here, a writer here, I just want to understand what that actually means to the layperson.
It's actually a really good question because it's not as like necessarily defined as maybe some other industries, but at its core, it's making sure the shit gets done and gets done well and creatively. And so it's wearing all the hats. So producer, you're wearing all the hats. You're helping to oversee the creative. You're hoping to oversee the logistics. And it's like, the way I look at it, because there isn't like necessarily like a clear checklist, it's just living with this internal pressure of going, well, if something doesn't happen, the movie doesn't happen. So it's just like being on top of everything and trying to troubleshoot, trying to think ahead, trying to be prepared, and simultaneously think creatively with it. And I don't know if that answers the question very well.
Now, wait, does producer though, sometimes is there a difference between producer and executive producer in terms of bringing money to the project, fundraising, like being an investor? I picked up on that a little bit, but I'm not sure the distinction there either.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's the case. Like, I mean, in the case of Starting Five, when you see the executive producer list, it's me and Rob Ford because we were the showrunners. So our credit is executive producer. But you also see LeBron and Mav Carter and the Obamas and Peyton Manning. And so, they're not necessarily involved on a hands-on day-to-day basis, but their production companies are connected and they do, add some creative input here and there. They certainly help on the casting process. So, the role, the titles, a lot of people can have the same title, but the job description underneath it is very different.
Now I'm one of I work from home, right? So I watch a million documentaries and I watch so much stuff. And I recently took in the Starting Five, right? And
Took it in.
Like it was awesome. Like the drama at the end, you can't script that. You kind of lucked out having Halliburton and Shea going to the finals, but everything that happened in those final 2 episodes, it was like you couldn't produce a Hollywood script with this much cool shit and this much drama. But what I did notice is as I was taking it in and knew we were going to talk to you, like it must be hard having 5 stories. Like most documentaries are focused on one thing, one guy, one story. This is like 5 happening simultaneously, and then at the end it comes together as one. And it must be so hard as working on it to juggle all that and to try and figure out who gets the most time. It was well done, and I enjoyed the series immensely. But I just wondered how you put that together and have time to watch all 5 stories and figure out how they intersect.
I think, certainly there's an amount of hedging our bets with who gets on the show, with the understanding that likely it'll get narrowed down in the playoffs as we get towards the end. Season 1, we had Jason Tatum. So, by the final episode, he was the lone guy there and really sort of his journey in the finals at that point. Season 2, we had Tyrese and Shea, who were facing off in the finals. And yeah, no, there's no way we could predict that
Right.
that was going to happen. No one could predict the playoff run that Tyrese had, which was like I stand by it's the greatest playoff performance of anybody in any sport in history, what he did.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it in person last year, but watching it in the documentary, I'm like, holy shit, this was unreal.
Yeah, that was
the run he was on, and he didn't miss in the clutch. Like every series, they came back from like a 0.1% chance of winning and won the game.
Yeah, no, it didn't even make sense. But it's funny because he would always talk to us like, yeah, like I want to be a villain. I'm like the bad guy, and we're like, you're just a nice dude. You're not a villain.
He talks about that. He's definitely not the toughest. Like he doesn't come off as villainous.
No, but his game, and especially in the clutch, he's a villain to a lot of cities right now. I don't think anyone in Milwaukee thinks of him as a sweet friend. I don't think anyone in Cleveland feels that way. No one in New York feels that way. And OKC, maybe he's not a villain there just because they feel bad for him at this point that he got hurt in Game 7. But what he was on target to do, he very likely could have been a villain in OKC too.
Oh, sorry.
But I guess my main question, I know I went on and I was complimenting you and shit, but like, how do you bring those 5 stories together? Is it hard to decide which parts you pick from each one? It just seems a lot harder to do than when you're focusing on one theme and one guy and one story. It was impressive.
Yeah, no, thank you for saying that. No, it's super hard to figure out. At first there's some feeling of like, well, there needs to be equity. It can't be the Shea show for 40 minutes and then you allocate 1 minute to each of the other guys. So at first you're like, okay, we want to give everybody like some equal space here, but then stories emerge and you want to kind of lean in harder to one guy over another, and the difference of making Starting 5 versus another doc or a historical doc, Wu-Tang or something, where it's like, all right, we're telling a story that primarily happened in the past. This one is like unfolding before our eyes, so there's some element of like breaking news, and so things that we could have planned and go like, yeah, we think it's going to go this way, let's start editing this way. All of a sudden something happens and you have to just be able to be reactive and pivot. And there is an element of like of sports to it, right? You're going and you're trying to, you have a game plan, but then you have to react and change based on what's happening on the court, literally and figuratively.
Something like that, it must make it a lot harder than if you just have a storyboard and what already happened in the past, and this is way harder. Like you said, you're going by the moment.
But let me interject real quick because, and I don't know the timing on this. When did the last season of Starting 5 actually come out?
It came out like 5 days before the basketball season started. So it came out October 20th or something.
Recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least you have the benefit, right? The hard part, well, you probably, and as Meech was talking, I was just thinking to myself, man, the amount of logistics, right? You're following all of these guys throughout the whole season. You've got different crews, different people. You must be in communication with them, seeing what they're getting, dictating what you want them to do. You're probably going to be with different crew, right? I mean, you've got 5 different crews, which is amazing. But then I guess you do have the benefit of then watching the story unfold and taking all of that and deciding how you want it to tell the story, knowing what happened. Am I getting that right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, that makes sense. In actuality so the show came out October 15th or whatever, but you have to deliver it to Netflix 6-8 weeks before that. So, and the finals end of June. So it's not like you can just go, all right, let's wait till the end of June and then we'll put it all together. Like it's such a massive undertaking, just the amount of footage, both from the stuff that we film, even just when you get a game that, a mic'd up game that we want to put into the show, we've got our cameras filming, but then we also have access to 30 NBA cameras. So it's like, okay, choosing which shots you're going to use, what angle are you going to use? It's a massive undertaking. The like editorial process is crazy. And we had a lead editor named Michael Mahaffey, who is like a genius. The whole team, they're all incredible, and they figured it out.
I was going to say shout out to the editing team, because there was one particular sequence that I thought was hilarious. It was James Harden, and he was explaining the first time he talked on the phone with his girlfriend now, and he's like he FaceTimed her at like 9 o'clock in the morning. He's like I know how to talk to people and in complete sentences and to where it makes sense, and like this, and then it cuts to his girlfriend. She's like, James has no game, but it was like that's you know, that's the perfect editing spot. Like it was awesome. It was hilarious, man.
I actually wanted to sorry, go ahead.
And KD is like a friggin' legend, man. Like all his stuff is hilarious. I love everything about the dude. And I don't know if you've seen yesterday. They played Memphis, and he's telling John Morant,
T.
he's
Morant,
like,
so good.
your son don't want to be here.
So
He's the great. I love KD. It was a great.
KD,
and you know what? I had a sour feeling about James Harden after he left Philly, but after watching that documentary, I was like, that dude's all right. I mean, he's a friggin' legend. He's a whatever. It just didn't work out here.
Tommy,
It wasn't his fault it didn't work out in Philly. Let's be honest.
It wasn't.
We know that now. You mentioned about the camera angles, Pete, and that was actually one thing I was thinking about constantly while I was watching the show. And I was thinking, you must have had access to the NBA cameras, but correct me if I'm wrong, there had to be a decision in your mind, in your editor's mind, that majority of the footage you used, I assume the shots that were like ground level, almost at the players' vantage points, even in the game footage, I assume that must have been deliberate to try and put you in with them as if you're sort of walking next to them or running next to them or interacting next to them. And I thought that was really awesome and effective. And so that's sort of one of my questions. The other question is, were those your cameras, the ones that were like ground level, sort of, almost tailing them? Because obviously that's not an angle that we watch games at usually.
I mean, look, those are the guys shooting that for us are NBA entertainment cameramen. They are like amazing cameramen, but they would assign one person to be for us. So if we're like, KD's mic'd up this game and you're going to be in this baseline position, just keep your camera on KD. You're not covering the game the way you normally would. And yeah, it's a totally intentional, because that's the beauty of basketball, is like, it's so intimate. Unlike football, where the cameras are so far away and everyone's wearing a helmet and you don't have the same level of like connection. You can be, as a fan, you could be courtside if you have $1 billion, or you can watch the show and feel courtside because it's like you're right there and you're hearing their mics, you're hearing them breathing, you're hearing the grunts, and you see, like, just by going to some of these games and some of the vantage points I was able to have, you see like the fucking toll it takes on their body. Like, they are banging each other. Like, it is no joke. It used to be like, oh, he's got to sit out for rest. Yeah, and now I'm like, yeah, they should not play. You should never play back-to-back games.
Crazy.
I got a question. So there's a lot of these like shows now and I love them all, like to get behind the scenes of these professional sports teams. You got like, I feel like Hard Knocks is like the OG one, but like you got a lot of them now, like the quarterback show and the overtime elite. But I actually started watching Starting Five when the first season. I had no idea that there was a connection between us and the show. But I'm just curious, like, about all these shows. Like, how did, like, I think this is Starting Five is your brainchild, right? So like, I want to know how this all comes to be. Like, does the NBA approach you, or do you like come up with this idea and then you go to the NBA? Like, how does this all come about? Like, how are the players selected? I'm just curious about that whole like process of how it begins.
So, I mean, it's not my brainchild. The design of Starting Five is mine, but like the concept was there. And like you said, the groundwork was there between Hard Knocks, between quarterbacks, between Drive to Survive, Full Swing, the list goes on. It was just sort of a matter of time before there was the NBA version of it. And I think Spring Hill saw that, recognized that. Spring Hill Uninterrupted saw that, recognized that, and who better to kind of make it happen than Braun, obviously, because if Braun approaches the league about it and says, "Hey, I'm interested in doing this," it's very likely they'll say yes. If Luke Cornett approaches the league about it, like, I don't know if the answer would be the same. And then as far as the rest of the casting, it's like, we so benefit from Braun's connection, because at the end of the day, if Braun, everybody wants to be close to the king, regardless of how you feel about him as a player or whatever. But if it's good enough for Braun, how can another player say no?
Right.
So how did you personally get involved? Like, I don't know the story. Like, do you work with Braun and Maverick, or like, I'm just curious how you got involved with this whole situation.
I said this a couple of times. It's kind of crazy to say, and I feel weird saying it. I think I manifested it. I used to work in reality TV. I used to be the showrunner of the Bachelor franchise. And when I left that, my agent's like, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to make things about weed, basketball, and hip hop, like the three things I care about." And I was fortunate enough to make a lot of great hip hop documentaries, including Cypress Hill, which I think covers the weed aspirations.
Yeah.
And then it was like sitting there going like, well, what's next? And my phone rang from Spring Hill, like out of the blue. And at that time, they were doing a basketball show for Vice. And I'm like, this is crazy. LeBron's company's calling me to do a basketball show. It's amazing. And the Vice thing didn't work out timing wise. Like, I just couldn't make it happen. I was doing something else. I think we were finishing the Freaknik documentary and some other things. And I had to turn it down. And I'm like, I remember going home being like, I can't believe I just turned down this thing that I've been wanting forever. And thank God I did, because then, I don't know, 2 months later, the phone rang and they're like, "Hey, we've got this big thing for Netflix. It's like quarterbacks with NBA players." And the answer is definitely yes. What do I need to do to secure this job? Yeah.
Now, one thing you just glossed over right there, but where can I find this Freaknik documentary?
Wait, what's it called?
Freaknik.
Justin has no idea what Freaknik is. Come on now, let's be honest.
It was an Atlanta festival that happened when did it stop? In the late 90s?
I think it stopped in the late 90s. They tried to bring it back, but it's never the same.
It was.
I have an idea in my mind whether
it was
that
some
idea
Two Live
you're
cruise
not
shit.
far off.
But
Is that
did that
the
documentary ever?
No.
Is that available to view?
That's on Hulu.
Hell yeah! Thank you.
Yeah.
He's watching it tonight when he goes home.
I'm
Guaranteed.
gonna subscribe to Hulu for the.
Yeah, the craziest thing about Freaknik is like the first. I mean, in my estimation, Freaknik is the first event in history where everyone was pulling up with a camera, right? Like now that's just normal. Everyone just has a camera in their pocket.
Filmed, dude. Right.
But Freaknik, everyone was like, I'm bringing my dad's video camera with me. I'm like, it was the first time that everyone convened and was recording it. And probably would have been better off if there were no cameras.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Freaknik is a play on picnic, I assume.
Greek picnic.
Freaknik is basically Freaknik's like a gathering of African Americans down in Atlanta. I don't know what time of year it happens, but it's basically like a big party with a bunch of African Americans down in Atlanta. You're just getting wild, getting freaky. Pretty much.
Right.
I mean, let's put it out.
Spring break. It's like a spring break, it's a spring fling.
That's a good call.
It's like HBCU spring fling.
Yeah.
It's like when those motorcycle gangs convene in Fort Lauderdale. It's the same thing for.
What was the
opposite?
This could go bad, but I'm just gonna try it anyway. What was the Greek picnic?
That
The
was
Greek
here.
picnic.
That was
Yeah.
here.
Is
It's
that
kind of like the same thing, but like on a larger scale.
I remember
Yeah.
with the Greek picnic we going on, I'd be looking around like, what's going on today?
But I think the Greek picnic was like centered around the sorority,
Right.
fraternity
Yes.
type lifestyle.
That's
Freaknik
right.
was just for anybody and
No,
everybody.
Freaknik was a lot of Am I wrong? That's a lot of fraternity, sorority.
That was the origin.
Yeah,
It's like the cousin of the Greek picnic.
Ah.
Anyway, we digress. I'm
sorry,
learning
I
things,
just
though.
caught that real quick, and
Pete,
I
so
wanted to expand.
when they
on
came to you with the hey, you're gonna do starting 5, they already have like the players selected, and like they were like, you're gonna go with Shy, Harden, or like did you pick the player? Like how's that come about? I'm curious about that.
So season 1, when I got on board, it was like a couple days before media day. I think that Braun was on board and Jimmy Butler were on board, and maybe nobody else at that point. And so we were quickly trying to figure it out. Season 2, we had a little more runway to figure out who was going to come on. It's some count. You want to think about how to have a good balance of Eastern and Western Conference. You want to think about who's gonna stick around the longest, because if all of a sudden you're making a show and nobody makes the playoffs, that would kind of be disappointing. And then based on the superstars we had in season 1, season 2, you need to keep it at that level. So having Shea, having KD, all of a sudden you're like, okay, we're in a good place. James was a question mark, like, because James is a bit of a mystery, and James does have, like you were saying,
he was an
he
interesting
definitely
character.
still is.
I have a
but when
question.
you watch the
Early
show, all of
on-
a sudden you see him differently.
Early on in that process, did
100%.
someone stand up and go, "There's only one rule, guys: no Sixers. We can't have any Sixers. It's not going to make any sense. It's going to be terrible." No one thought they would be as bad as they were last year, but
Could
yeah.
have followed Joel Embiid.
I would love to
all
see
the
Joel
doctors.
Embiid.
Yeah, I would love to
followed.
see Joel Embiid behind the scenes.
Can we get
and
him for
see what
season
he's up
3?
to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of our directors, Sammy Khan, lives in Philly, and so we were like, man, wouldn't it be great to get someone from the Sixers? I would love to have someone from the Sixers. Honestly, I guess maybe it's better off that Embiid wasn't on last season, considering the number of games he played. Tyrese would have been amazing. Maxey would have been amazing.
It was like the football version of you guys. I watched the season with Kirk Cousins, and I think he got benched like game 4 of. So I was like,
yeah,
shit.
Mariota got dropped. Like I think that was a tough.
A lot of
season
footage of
for-
them at home.
Yeah.
Is it hard to get like guys to commit to that? Like is there cameras around them 24/7 pretty much?
I mean, it's mixed. There definitely were a couple of guys that said no, because they said, I don't want to have cameras around me. I want to just focus on hoops.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like the young guys like Shea and Tyrese Halliburton, those guys are totally like because they're used to having cameras around their whole life. Like,
Right.
Not that they're not all on camera all the time in some capacity, but the young guys are like kind of easy to get a yes. It's KD and James and Braun, for that matter, who like
Yeah,
they're
it's
a
like
little
the
more
TikTok
skeptical.
generation. They're
Yeah.
used to filming themselves, so it's no big deal to them.
Get Jared McCain on there. That would be.
Yeah,
crazy.
get Jared McCain. He'd be a good one.
I was pitching Jared McCain season 1. That was his rookie year. Yeah, no, last year was his rookie year.
Last year, yeah.
Can you give us any
season 1. No, last year. Yeah, so I was like, Jared McCain, like that's the guy we need. Like that dude would
That
be,
energy, right?
Yeah.
Can you give us any season 3 exclusives who you're looking at, or nah?
There, I don't know. I don't think we know yet, which is crazy. I mean, obviously the dream would be Wemby, just because I'm curious. I'm curious what's happening. I'm like, I want to know.
He seems like he'd be perfect for it too. Like he's sharp, he's very articulate. Like that's a guy that I would love to hear more from.
Have you had I want to know what he eats.
Nothing.
I like that he grew 3 inches over the offseason this year. Now he's like 7'7".
Makes no sense.
You always see the footage of him like doing the weird stretches and the kung fu shit. You're like, this dude, he's on some other stuff, and like he's a freaking alien.
Wait,
dude.
Tom, did you have a question? I think you're about to ask a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know you had a few guys turn it down. Have you had guys like approaching you like thirsty, trying to get on it, trying to elevate their profile, or that do want that access? Because I imagine that after season 1, I would imagine that there was a handful of players that were probably knocking down your door just saying, hey,
Definitely.
or agents more so than the players, obviously. But
Exactly. No, there's definitely some of that, and of varying levels and tiers of stardom, I guess.
right.
But yeah, no, it's like you got to figure out the right balance. It's like, if we have Halliburton on, we got Indy covered. Is it weird if we brought someone from the Cavs on? Then you're like, are we like too Midwest centric? So there's other things you want to think about of like spreading the love.
I thought it was a really good balance because Harden is like this sort of mystery, and I found myself watching the parts with Harden more than anyone else on the show being like, I have no idea what's about to come out of his mouth. And that was awesome. And then you had, Shea and Halliburton were young and very at ease, and just sort of almost like you felt like you were just sort of following them around their life. And then I actually, we were talking about this today on text message. I came out of this with a completely different appreciation for KD. And I thought he used this almost as his pulpit and his, ability to finally like speak to everyone as the superstar that he is, because he's been in situations where even though he is a superstar, he was not necessarily the number one, or, obviously it didn't work out in Brooklyn or what have you.
Hearing KD tell that story about when he tore his Achilles, and he said, just hearing him talk about sitting there, and he said, look at me. He said, I'm just like looking around, looking through the crowd, thinking, is like, this going to be the last time I ever play? And it was just like, you could totally relate to that in the sense of like a guy that truly just wants to ball. Like he is the epitome of baller's ball, and that's all he wants to do. And that you could see that and feel that pain of shit, I might not be able to do this again.
Yeah, no, getting to hear it from him, it's one thing that we see it as fans, and like Harden, also have our opinions of him, whether it's about leaving OKC, whatever it is, leaving OKC, whatever happened in Brooklyn, all these things. And yeah, he is just like the most passionate hooper, and that's it. And that's great. That's what it should be. Everyone should love the game this much. Like,
Yeah,
right.
You're paying me X million dollars to go hoop? Yes, please. Like all day, every day, I'm in. And then the Twitter stuff is also I've learned a lot from him, because I've got a troll in me.
I love.
I want to comment.
He's the best. He's the absolute best troll.
I loved it when KD
He's
said,
incredible.
when he said, like, he was talking about like how people expect him to be the leader of the team and like take charge, but he's like, nah, he's like, I need my team just as much as you need me. He's like, yeah, I'll be the leader sometime.
He's the perfect basketball.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's not
He
always
truly
going to be
gets
on
the
me, the
team
fucking
right,
guy.
exactly.
He's like the realest dude out there. Like everyone's
Yeah,
like,
it was amazing.
you come to a team as a superstar, you're like, I got to be the fucking leader. I got to be the alpha dude. He's like, nah, I need my team
like
as much
LeBron
as you
would
need.
be.
Yeah, and it's like KD seems like the most authentic dude out there. And I really appreciate that. But the first season, who I really love was my man Ant-Man. That dude seems like a complete
He's
maniac.
He's wild.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's
And
the
he's
best,
like,
'cause
he's
also no filter, filter, and he's just him all the time, and that's great. So
and he seems like another one of those dudes that's basketball. Like they showed, like you guys showed when he was having the baby, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm having a baby, but he's like so concerned about leaving the game and what's going on in the game. It's like kind of like almost the baby was secondary, but like he's out there with no shirt on, like trying to get to see the baby. I thought that was amazing.
You know, it's funny, when he was drafted, the main knock on him was, does he care about basketball? Like, does he even want to be a basketball player?
He seems like he wants to be the best basketball player. I don't know.
He's
Yeah,
the
I'm
man.
sure. Yeah.
P, I have a question. You followed these guys around all last year, and we see from the show how it progresses, and as fans watching, and we end up with OKC and Indiana. Following those guys, was there a moment during the season where you were like, I think these guys are going to end up in the finals, or I think these guys aren't going to end up in the finals? But did you see it before we did? Because that was obviously an amazing finals, and Indiana surprised some people, but at some point became clear they were playing as well or better than anyone. And going into Game 7, I actually thought Indiana was going to win.
Yeah, I mean, OKC obviously had such an insane season last year and are off to an insane start right now. But even while that was happening, there was still question of like, okay, can this young team do it when it comes to the playoffs? Like, oh, are they going to be able to get through Denver? And so again, we were sort of going like, I mean, we'll be prepared for it, but let's hedge our bets. Like, what happens if they lose? All signs are pointing to the fact that they're on like a rocket ship to the finals, but also they're young. All those same questions. So, yeah, we certainly don't know anything before anyone else because these games are unfolding before our eyes. Pacers too. Like going into the season, we're like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if Celtics go back to try to repeat? And we have Jaylen Brown versus Shea in the finals. That would be all season we were thinking that's going to be the best case scenario,
right,
and the most realistic outcome. So Pacers, I think, definitely caught us off guard. I think they caught everybody off guard. As good as they were playing, you still go Pacers.
And then
Really?
not
They
only
were
not
sure.
only do you get Tyrese as part of the story, but then you get his dad who inserts himself as part of the story, which was also pretty fun. And then he gets like banned from the Knicks series, so he's got to go to like a Buffalo Wild Wings in his hometown. It was really cool.
Did the players have like any feedback of like, hey, I don't want this in there. Can you like get this out of there? I'm just thinking right now, the whole Jaylen Brown with the Beijing in his hair, and like I know you had Jaylen on in the second season, and I'm like, is there like any scenes where he's like spraying his hair down and he's like, you gotta cut that out of there? You know what I mean?
Can't
Like,
ask him that question.
how much stuff are they cutting out, and like, are they allowing you to put on there?
Yeah, I mean, we give them space for some amount of feedback. There's also like a level of trust. Like this isn't like an expose. We're not trying to,
right.
We're not trying to show the warts, but we're also not trying to hide them. So it's like,
right.
It's a fine line, but certainly, obviously if there's anything that has to do with safety or security or whatever, we want that feedback. Like, maybe don't put my neighborhood on here or like, things like that, definitely. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think there was anything that was like super objectionable that they're like, you got to take that out. I can't believe I said that. Or, but we do offer that. We do offer that space for them because, of course, like this is about they should feel good about it. We're not trying to expose anyone. We're just trying to tell the story of like these superstars.
Right. Yeah. Not that this is analogous at all, but when we started the podcast, that was like my biggest fear was that like we had to record it and then like see what it was like before we put it out. It's like, we can't be live, you know what I mean? And we would have these different guests on, and we had some pretty reputable sports media personalities who had, great reputations. We never had an issue, and then got to the point where I was like, it's just easier to go live. And, we haven't had an issue. And I just think in the world that we're living in,
I can't wait till there's an issue.
I mean, if there was going to be an issue, it would have been this guy right here. I mean, there's been some issues, just not enough people were paying attention.
We had some episodes.
We had to make some edits.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had some episodes that we couldn't air fully.
I got cut out of a couple
in order to protect
for some things.
Did you get cut out? I think I remember that actually. Yeah.
Now,
okay.
That's why you have a lawyer. That's why you have a lawyer at the table.
That's right.
Yeah. We got he's got our back. But you said, I know maybe you probably can't divulge, but
we're trying to create problems now.
The starting five, like they followed their journey from the opening tip, so you kind of have to know who's next year's starting five. Like you don't have to tell us, but you got the guys, right?
I mean, who would you want to see?
Wemby.
Wemby would be a good one. Maxey would be an awesome.
Definitely Maxey.
What about like Jalen Brunson?
I was going to say Brunson.
Somebody on the Knicks.
I don't even know yet.
No.
A Knicks guy would be good, but they probably
Cooper Flag.
One of those.
Cooper Flag.
No.
Luka.
No.
They're going to do rookies.
Oh, and Luka. Yeah.
Luka.
But here's the thing: no matter who you follow,
Ohtani.
It's interesting.
Baseball.
Just to
Yeah,
see what
you
they
could do it with
But,
anybody.
Like here's one of the most interesting things I saw. Before the finals, Shea had a dinner at his house, and Lil Yachty was there. Like, why? Like, why is Lil Yachty at your house? I mean, I don't know if they're good friends before that. But that kind of shit I love. Like, what's the connection there? Like,
Well,
I want a
if you're trying to-
documentary.
if you're trying to
onto
get ready-
where Shea and Lil Yachty became friends to where he's coming over his house during the finals.
Think about it. If you can bring the guy over that is actually the person who created the hype music that you listen to before the game, that's like the hype before the hype.
Why
to
wouldn't-
actually hang
yeah.
out with the guy. That makes sense to me.
Private
Part of the
concert
deal.
Does Lil Yachty make hype music?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
For
don't
the kids
know.
that
What
age.
do I know?
For kids
What
that
the
age.
one of the most random things was Halliburton with that like garage sale of his clothes.
No, that was
That was
Shea.
Shea. That
was Shea,
He
yeah.
brought over his I was going to say the same
was
thing.
Shea with
He
the
brought over
garage
his
sale
teammates, and he's
with
like,
the
"Just
teammates."
make a pile, and I'll tell you how much it's going to cost." And then Chet Holmgren's trying to like sell his. He's like game worn Shea sneakers. Like,
Is that where the idea for that commercial came from? Remember they all wearing the same, him, Jalen, and Shy, they're all
Yes,
wearing
maybe.
the same outfit, and they're like,
Maybe.
and it seems
They
like
stole it.
like every like Shea had a baby, his baby's first birthday party, and the whole team showed up. But it's like if it was Alex Caruso's kid, I bet you 4 of them would have showed up. But since it's Shea, the whole fucking team.
Yeah.
showed.
But let me ask you a question about that, Pete. When that's happening, is it like, all right, Shea's gonna have a yard sale of his clothes, we should go film it, or is it just like we're there and this breaks out? You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
no, it's like he told his director Tristan Williams beforehand. He's like, "Yeah, I'm having like a yard sale in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna sell all my gear." You know, it was all to raise money for charity. It wasn't like he's not like pocketing his teammates.
Right?
stuff,
Yeah,
but,
yeah. It's fun.
but yeah. So you know, and then she reports back like, "Hey guys, this is happening." Like, yes, please. Like, we have to be there. Like, that is. How do we not?
It was like $4,000 Louis Vuitton vest at a yard.
So
sale.
Pete,
The
what
whole
did you
dynamic
buy
was
that
fun.
you're now wearing from that yard sale?
Dude, Shy's
Yeah,
like
I bought a
6'4", right?
shirt that's I bought like a tall tee, like right. Anything if I were to get anything, it would just like be down to my knees.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall you are, Pete, but I was like, Shy's got to be like at least 6'5". I don't know if it's gonna fit him that well.
Yeah, no.
He's like 6'7" or 6'5", 6'7", and he weighs like 110 pounds.
I mean,
It was interesting that when they were talking about how much stronger he is than people realize, and I forget who was talking. They're like, he's got his right shoulder, he's got his left shoulder, like, and the way he moves is just
Yeah,
unbelievable.
He creates that space.
All right, let's not turn this into a Shea buttering up.
So,
Shea butter
Pete,
thing up.
I'm assuming you like. Are you an old school like NBA guy? Like, did you have like the Slam magazine on the wall, the Upper Deck card? So this is right in your
All of it.
wheelhouse.
Show him the
Oh,
tattoo.
So don't show us the tattoo if you don't want to.
It's
don't know
Dr.
if we can
It's Dr. J. It's Dr. J playing tennis.
Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So are you LeBron or Jordan or someone else? Who's the
You
best?
know,
He's
it's
only answered that one
LeBron's
way.
on the payroll. Don't ask him that. He's saying LeBron. Just stop.
I have a
Don't
feeling he's
ask
going
him
to
that.
answer this honestly. I really do.
I will answer it honestly. And I've been Jordan forever. And the fact that Bron is still doing, like, we watched Jordan decline. We saw that. We saw it on the Wizards, and it was like heartbreaking to watch him not be able to do the things he used to do. And we have yet to experience that with Bron.
We haven't.
Which-
I know.
But here's the thing. I went to Jordan's last game ever. It was at the Core State Center against the Wizards. Didn't make the playoffs, and they went. The last game ever was against the Sixers. It was the 82nd game of the year. Jordan played in it, and he played all 82 games that year. And he got taken out in like the third quarter, and the fans chanted him, and he came back in and scored another bucket. I mean, you watch his years when he was 40, they're not as bad as you think they were. Just as he's not as bad a baseball player as you think he was. He was pretty damn good
LeBron-
at that too.
Listen, I'm Team Mike.
Glazer.
Stolen bases and doubles. He's
So your
a
team,
monster.
Bron?
No, I'm Team Mike because
Okay.
I came up with it and just 6 for 6 and all that. And they're different. LeBron is
Wizards
the most
Jordan was
gifted
really
basketball
good.
player to ever play the game. Period. To me, that's not debatable. You know, he's been doing it for 20 years. He's 40 plus years old. Still going to give you 27, 5, 5, 5. Were any of you guys there when he played at the Palestra against Maurice Rice when he broke Wilt's city scoring record?
I've seen
No, I
highlights.
wasn't there.
Who?
I was not
Jordan?
there.
No,
And I went to
LeBron.
so many
LeBron.
games and I missed that
I
one.
was there.
We used to play with Maurice Wright.
He was
Malik
so
Wright.
much
Remember
better
that?
than everybody else on the floor. And this is
Maurice
when he was
Wright.
18,
Maurice.
17 years old. He couldn't even really get down. LeBron could, just the way he saw his court vision, his awareness. It was like these kids didn't see the floor. the way
I'm
he-
not denying LeBron. He's the second best player. That's not a bad
Right,
thing.
right.
But I'm just saying, in my opinion.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm Mike.
You could have a whole episode on.
And if LeBron wasn't so corny,
this.
what you just said about Mike at the end, the Philly fans chanting for him to come back, I don't think LeBron would get that same kind of response from the fans because of his perception and his relationship to the fans as opposed to Mike.
I mean, I don't mean to
Yeah, I didn't mean to
harp on
sidetrack
this,
it. I'm
but,
sorry.
I do think the Philly fans, if LeBron's last game was here, they would respect him and
You got to. Come on,
Yeah,
man. You
yeah,
got to
I mean,
respect LeBron.
they do the same exact
Look what we
thing they
did for
Mike.
Cam Scatterboo, man. Come
Seriously,
on.
man.
We're not so bad.
Yeah.
Not so
Since
bad.
this is a question that actually just popped in my mind. Did the show take you to every NBA arena, Pete?
No.
Have you been to every one?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to ask you,
But-
like, what is the best atmosphere in the NBA? But maybe
I mean-
you've been to a lot of them, obviously.
I mean, the OKC fans are no joke. I went to a preseason OKC game, and it was louder than anywhere else in a
Really?
regular season or playoff game. It was like
Wow.
they are
They got nothing else.
so
They're a
passionate,
good
and
crowd.
that's exactly it. I think they don't have, because that's all they've got. They are all
Yeah.
in all the time.
Beautiful. We got Blake in the chat.
So before you go, I mean, I don't know how much time we got with you, but so you did a Wu-Tang documentary? Is it the of Mike's of Men documentary?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did that? So
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but it's in my like playlist. I gotta watch this. I watched I got into, I mean, I'm an old guy, so I love Wu-Tang growing up. And I watched the Hulu series that they had, which is kind of
Yeah.
corny, but I had to watch it. And then Meech and we went to a Wu-Tang concert not too long ago, and I was like, I just really got into Wu-Tang. I was like, put this on my list is of Mike's and Men. I had
Yeah.
no idea that you did this. So is this? I gotta. Where is this? Is this available somewhere that I need to see this on? Talk about that. What was it like being around the Wu?
I mean, I'll tell you, it prepared me very well for dealing with these NBA players, where it was like, where it just made this easy comparatively.
You had to deal with ODB.
No,
He's
dead, wasn't he?
I didn't see the. I didn't see the documentary yet. I was curious.
With him
Oh,
15
my bad,
years
my
ago.
bad.
He's been dead a while, man.
Anyway. All right, wait,
yeah,
you-
no, I mean, it was amazing. It was like, but to your point, it's like, it was amazing because I'm also a fan. So you're trying to like
Mhm.
be cool around them, but also get a job done is a very challenging thing because you're like, holy shit, I'm standing next to Method Man. Like, oh, RZA just texted me. Holy shit. So there's the fanboy part, and
Yeah.
then there's like figuring out how to tell the story.
It's okay. Don't,
That's all right.
Peter,
Oh.
don't worry, man.
We like that. We like
don't
that.
care.
That sounds like home, Peter. I think we're all
Method Man
all of
turns
us
to you, he's
know
like,
what that
Peter,
means.
hit this, man. Come on.
You're like, all right, cool.
They I don't know if you went to any of the shows on the farewell tour until they do their next farewell tour, but Rocky and Meech went to that Philly show that I was trying to get you to come. Oh, you went to, oh, they went the one I was trying to get you to come in for. That obviously the timing was not great for either one of us because I had gone to two Fish shows the 2 nights before the Wu-Tang show in Philly, but you know.
Fish to
Did you catch
Wu-Tang.
any of the farewell shows? Did you catch the LA one?
I didn't, unfortunately.
Oh
But-
man.
You know, what's cool about them is they still do their thing, and it doesn't feel like watching an aging Jordan play. It feels like
Yeah.
Now, wait, is there any
They did kill it.
Killed it.
whether it's with Wu-Tang or anyone else you've encountered?
ODB's son
What do
coming
they
out.
say?
Oh.
You know, you shouldn't meet your heroes or something like that. You know, did you ever have moments where you're like, oh man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Or you let down.
truth be told, no. Like, it's been all good. And yeah, I think because especially for these guys, especially for Wu, like where they are in their lives and careers, like no one is being a dick. Everyone is just trying to like, yeah, let's finally do this. Let's finally tell our story. And there were definitely some scary moments where I'm like, can we go there? Like, we're really, because for that one, we definitely wanted to go there. And yeah, everyone was cool. A couple moments where we like show it to them, thinking like they're gonna maybe punch me in the face or something, but no, we were good. We're good.
Would you have more fun working on that or starting 5 or whatever? What's your favorite project that you've done?
Bachelorette, man. That must have been epic. You got to talk a little bit about that.
Room Raiders.
Yeah, exactly.
Room Raiders.
Yeah, you remember that?
Dude, MTV, that's a classic show. I remember Room Raiders.
Yeah.
What was the one where they got off the bus and dated each other?
What?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah,
Let's go deep on this stuff.
Yeah,
man.
I used to watch MTV every show they used to. Room Raiders was fucking classic. Can I explain the plot of Room Raiders?
Please.
I think so. There's no rules.
You would have to go into somebody's room who you didn't know and look through their shit and see if you wanted to date them or not. What would you go like through 3 people's rooms?
Yeah.
And decide out of the 3
Oh.
who's from the shit they got in their room who you want to date, and then they would set you up for a date afterwards. Is that correct?
That's exactly correct. And
So Room Raiders was your favorite project, Pete? I'm assuming.
That's not what he
no.
said.
I know. I'm just kidding.
no. I'm not going on the record with that. But I can tell you, I know where you hide anything in your room. Like there's nothing, like no one could hide something from me. Like I know all the spots. Yeah.
So what was your favorite like project that you worked on so far? And what are you looking forward to working on?
I mean, it's all been this sort of evolution, like making Wu-Tang, like nothing could be better than this. And then getting to make Starting 5, it's like, holy shit. Something could be better than that. This is like I'm fulfilling and achieving like other creative desires and personal love and all that for hoops. So, I think it's all just part of this like progression and trying to do things that I love and care about and tell stories that are like personal, that I feel personally connected to, which is very fulfilling as someone who, as a creative person. Making The Bachelor was great. It was cool, and I traveled all over the world. But like, and I love, but like, it wasn't creatively fulfilling in the same way as things like this.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I got a friend who we were in a band together, and he continued beyond us ending the band, and now is in LA, and he's been writing and producing music, and he's done pretty well. He's had some hits here and there.
He won a Grammy.
Yeah, he did win a Grammy, actually. Yeah. But, I look at him and I just feel like it's hard to get to that point where, we all look at bands or actors or, athletes and like, did you make it? Are you going to make it? You know what I mean? It's like, once you get there, you've made it. You know what I mean? And in your line of work, obviously you've done so many tremendous things, but is it tough to get through something and then go, okay, now I got to find something else. I assume the more you get through, the easier it becomes, the more, and you have people that are helping you. But is that tough to think like, yeah, like what can top this? It sounds like you are confident that'll happen, but I guess that's one of the hard parts of doing the job that you do.
That's definitely the hard part. And sometimes you have to take jobs you don't want, because the bills don't stop. So you got to keep working. But yeah, I mean, look, I think that's what it is. I've been so fortunate to be able to do all these things that are so personally connected to. But yeah, sometimes you have to just take a job because you got to put food on the table and you got to pay rent, and it's maybe not the most fulfilling, but then it's like, okay, how can I dive into this thing and make it the best version of whatever it is? So I think that mentality is pretty important in it. And knowing that not everything is the dream project, because that's just not viable unless your name is Martin Scorsese or something.
Yeah, and I had wanted to ask you this way back at the beginning, and we kind of just raced along. I want to go back to it because it's the one thing that really I always wonder about when I see people like you.
Freaknik.
Honestly, the funny thing is I didn't know about Freaknik, but maybe I'll do some research and see
Yeah,
what
I'm
what it's
sorry.
all about.
I couldn't help myself.
No, but you know, I know when I was growing up, like I mentioned, I was in a band and I was like into surfing and all these things that were, you know, kind of like just different. And I so badly wanted to find a way for those things to be what I did, right? And I've done a lot of things, never really ended up, you know, I didn't end up being like a rock star or a professional surfer or whatever. But like I
Dude,
look,
you're a podcast host.
look at me.
Don't sell
yeah,
yourself
yeah,
short.
I'm just this is
Yeah.
this is it. Anyway, my point is this: when I look at somebody like you who has a passion for these things and you're doing the things that you're doing, it's just so amazing. And I wonder, you know, how you got there, right? And I know that's like an incredibly long story, and I don't intend for you to tell the whole thing, but I am interested, you know, because everyone has to start somewhere. And, you know, I hear about a lot of guys that are in entertainment that, you know, start out being
PA somewhere.
like a manager, or not a manager, like a, you know, an assistant for like somebody in Hollywood, and just do like the worst possible stuff. And I just wonder, like, what's your story going from, you know, where you were growing up to kind of, and again, briefly, you can tell it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I went to film school. I set out to do this. But then you come out of film school and you go, now what? And yeah, so I was PA. I was a PA on commercials. I was a bartender for a long time. You know, you have to figure out how to like do the freelance hustle and figure out how to keep paying rent and also pursue your passion. And it's definitely, there's a lot of highs and lows with it. But I think sticking with it and keeping your head down and being the hardest worker, like, goes a long way. So yeah, I mean, I got out of school and I PA'd in commercials. It was like the .com boom. So there was like these massive commercials directed by these like big directors, Doug Liman directing like some weird random .com, some random sneaker website or something that had like a $5 million budget for a tiny commercial. And then
what was I'm a big commercial fanatic. What was the best commercial you did? Like, is there a memorable one that you were involved with?
Yeah, I was a PA on a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. And it was literally, it's called, I did a couple of these like tabletop. So it's like when it's just like the product on a table.
Right.
And it was just donuts on this like,
I remember that one.
Metal
No,
backdrop. And I was like assisting the director for that. And he like flew in from LA. I was in New York and I had to go to Bigelow and get him his right face cream. And I had to go to this coffee shop to get him his like proper specific coffee he wanted. Yeah, you do all kinds of dumb shit along the way. We did
so
like
he's shooting a Dunkin' Donuts commercial and he wants a different coffee brought to him.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
that's all.
He needed his Kona coffee, like, you know, $50 a pound coffee.
Right.
Duncan didn't get into the fancy latte game for a while there. You know,
No, I don't even think they still do.
No, they do now. They realize
do.
the margins, man. They're like, we're not letting Starbucks get all that.
Peter, I appreciate what you did say about like the harder you work, almost like the luckier you get. And that's, you know, you went to film school. Yes, you set out to do this, but you still had to do the work, man. You had to start out as a PA, going to get fucking face cream at some bougie place. And so like, that's part of the deal. And you did it. And now, you know, you got Rizatex in you. Not that we need to glaze you anymore, but that's just, that speaks to like, you had the
Our
vision,
work pays off.
but you still had to do
Glaze
it,
on
man. Like it's not, you didn't come, it wasn't handed to you. You had to go out and grab it, and you did manifest it, and you manifested it through hard work. It's really cool to see.
Well, I do
Thank
think
you
you
for
guys
saying that.
pick up on something that is totally Peter that I've known for a long time, is like you have friends and people in your life that want to do something or think they want to do something. And from day one, he was like, this is what I'm into. This is what I want to do. And I'm going to take all my other interests and I'm going to put it into what I really want to do, which is make creative film. And nothing was going to stop him. Obviously, there are bumps in the roads. There's detours, you know, there's U-turns, all that stuff. But, you know, out of all the people I know in my universe, he's at the top of the list for this is who I am. This is what I want to do. And I'm not going to stop, and I'm not going to compromise, and I'm not going to be deterred. And as you said, Pete, you're going to let the universe work for you, which, I believe in. And if you have that determination and you let the universe work, I'm not saying it's easy, but it worked out, and you've never compromised who you are, and who you are is in all these shows. So I think, Jesse, you picked up on something that is completely accurate.
That was
Yeah,
quite
Mark,
motivational
Mark,
speech,
Mark, I want to talk
Listen,
to you. I want to talk to you about.
Can you talk me up like that every once in a while?
Yeah,
to
like,
make me
this
feel
is
better
amazing.
about myself.
I don't know what I want to do, man. I need to talk to you.
Yeah, can you
like,
help?
can we?
We'll
can we
talk offline.
I'm
All
going
right, we'll talk
Listen,
offline.
Peter has a family he's got to get back
I
to.
think
We
you're in
can't
the
sit
wrong
here
business.
bullshit with him. All
Pete,
the
you
time.
got you got
Isn't
any
that
dirt?
Tom coming in, putting his foot down, saying, all of a sudden,
Pete,
no.
before you go, you got any dirt on Mr.
stop.
Goodhart over there before you?
yeah, yeah.
You got any
Oh,
good
yes,
stories?
Mark,
Yeah,
yes.
you got
Like,
any?
did you ever fall asleep at dinner when you were having dinner together?
It was a good
Yeah.
Goodhart story.
Yeah,
Well,
But,
I could send you those pics really fast of him asleep.
Oh hell yeah! That's what we need. Put those on
Easy.
Twitter
I
or
heard
something
about
tomorrow.
All right, I'll find those pics. I'll send those to you. I
that.
mean,
This is City Pigeons after hours. Everyone else tuned out, so you can say whatever you want.
Mark was as he was like a very great athlete as a kid, but he was also the biggest klutz and would spill shit every night. At any time you went to his house for dinner and sat down with his family, Mark would spill something, and his dad would get so pissed. And they had a calendar in the kitchen, and it had a little mark in the corner on each day that Mark spilled something, and it was basically every
my
day.
wow,
It's good stuff.
We need a calendar around here. We need how many days without a Goodhart?
that's
incident?
interesting.
We need a Mark Goodhart documentary,
I
dude.
could totally see it. Oh god,
Yeah,
that's so
Of
good.
all the things he could have said, I
I
feel
know
okay
and
about that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
left out there.
He took it easy on you.
Solid.
Yo, he literally was like, "Listen to this. Mark spilled a lot." Oh man. Well, look, Peter, I feel like we could do many episodes with you, and congratulations on everything you've done.
Yeah, man.
I
Good
know
stuff,
we're
dude.
all excited now that we feel this connection with you to go back and watch some of your other stuff and to watch anything that you've got. Wait, real quick, I got to pull this
Danielle.
comment up
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
Danielle.
Check out this
Peter,
comment,
Danielle
Peter.
said hi earlier in the show too. just so
Yeah,
you know.
Danielle
Resident
said
gambling
she loves
expert.
you. It was my fault. I wasn't paying
Still
attention to
shit.
the comments
yeah,
because
yeah.
I was figuring out what was going on. Anyway, congrats, man. We're super
Thank
psyched
you.
for you, and glad to finally have you on. And once you come on, you're a friend of the show. So hopefully we can get you back and keep track of all the great things you're doing. If you're in Philly, come jump on. Love to have you, and continue success, man.
Amen.
Keep it rocking.
Great
Appreciate
stuff,
it.
brother.
Yo,
Thank
we
you.
love
Thank you.
starting five, Wu Tang, all that, man.
Yep.
Keep it going,
I
bro.
appreciate it,
I gotta
guys.
give
This
a
is
plug.
fun.
Uh-oh. Last minute plug.
No one even mentioned though the DMX doc, which was excellent.
What?
Did a DMX doc too?
Yeah, I helped to
You
produce a
guys not
DMX doc.
sweaty?
Oh, I need to see that one.
Yeah,
too.
I got to get
Wait.
into my. I got nothing but time during the day, man. I got to get into these.
He works from
He's
home.
like, I work from home and watch TV.
Man, who says that? That's
Who says
unbelievable.
what?
That you work from home and you have nothing but
No. I have my screen where I do my work.
Just stop
and
talking,
As I'm
dude.
doing my work, I got the iPad in front of me with document. I got the shit running.
Yo, can I tell you?
24/7.
I literally saw a
it's like
dude.
a hamster wheel.
I
in my
saw a
room.
dude in the gym the other day. He was like on a yoga mat on his stomach, and he was doing like leg lifts or something, watching like a TV show on an
It's a
iPad.
multitask.
Like, what are you doing out here, bro?
You got to do. You got to if you want to succeed in life, you got to do multiple things at the same time.
Okay, yeah. I'm the
Yeah.
okay. All
Peter,
right,
thank you. We love
Thanks,
you.
Pete, man.
Thank you, Peter.
Peter.
Thanks, my
Thanks,
man.
guys.
See you, dude.
Appreciate it.
Oh man, that was amazing. That was
Yeah,
amazing.
hell yeah.
Nah, like
He's good.
how honestly, when I talk to someone like that, I'm like literally jealous to think about all of the cool shit they have done. It's fantastic to be in those rooms, see these people. It's just amazing. And
You don't get texts from Rizzo?
I don't get text from the
You
And
know,
Rizzo.
I love and I
DMX
love
doc?
I love
Own
the story
fault.
about how he did it. Like it wasn't handed to him.
Yeah,
like
he grinded.
he
Started from the
grinded,
bottom. Now he's
man.
there.
Like,
It was
that's
probably
corny.
that's the
I
inspiring
think it was probably
thing to
handed
me.
to
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Just say it was
That's
handed to him.
usually that's usually the case. You know what I mean? But that was fantastic. I do feel like We didn't really get into any of the bird stuff that we were going to talk about, and that's
Who gives
okay.
a
Who
shit?
cares?
I guess we're a
We
minute and
did
10
when,
in.
Rapping with
when you
him
were
for a
trying
long
to figure
time.
out stuff.
Yeah.
We
We were
picked
full
our
of
You gotta at least let them
favorite-
know about the.
Yeah, that's what I
picked-
want to do.
We picked our favorite pickup.
Look, guys, girls, anybody who's still watching, we got some great stuff coming up. Monday night, we'll be here at the Coop. We're going to have a wonderful
Yeah.
game watch party in partnership with Next in Line Comedy and Love City Brewing, who's going to be operating the bar. It's going to be, different packages. You can have all you can eat plus cash bar. You can have $50 for as many beers and food as you can eat. So come through. We're going to be hanging out, watching the game. I think all these guys are going to be there.
I'll be there.
Attendance
I
is
happen
required.
to know a guy who's at his limit.
I don't know what that means.
What?
That was for me.
All right, fair enough.
Mental
Okay.
health.
Make sure you're coming out to that, and then we'll have another pod for you next week. And then we are going to put a tailgate together for the Detroit Lions game Sunday
Sunday
nights.
night.
That is going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
So that when you just show up and eat and drink and be merry.
We have another
Mark.
special guest next week too in studio.
For
We
real?
do?
Yeah.
Is this a
LeBron
surprise?
James.
LeBron James.
Our
LeBron
favorite
James.
caterer in the world, Blue Monkey Scott
Oh,
Clark.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He'll
Hell
be in
yeah.
studio with some
With some
delectable
snacks.
snacks.
Hell yeah.
We're going to turn this into
That's
like
some
one of
lifestyle
those,
shit right there. We
yeah.
haven't gotten back to much lifestyle shit.
I know.
know?
It's weird.
It's like weird
I know.
sports shit.
I know.
I'm
It's
into.
just-
I think the
I'm
last
into that
watch
rock.
party we had here was the Eagles Super Bowl.
Super
Mhm.
Bowl,
The
baby.
Eagles Super
What a
where
great
any thought of there being a Coop curse on Philly teams was
Right.
exercised.
Right.
Okay?
The
I have
vibes
multiple
were-
people
I had
telling me, "Oh, I
exercised
can't come to the Coop.
demons."
Every time I come there, they lose a game." I'm like, "Well, it's you
Maybe
because
it's a
we won
you
the
thing.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
while we were
Smoke
here."
show, the
That's you.
DMX, Jesse, you set it up that night. That was magic, just
Yo.
straight magic.
Yeah, how about
was-
if you get here an hour early on Monday?
Mhm.
We'll put on the DMX doc.
There you
And
go.
we'll watch
No,
that
no,
together. 'Cause
Freak
I
Nick.
want to watch it.
We're gonna watch the
Freak
Freak
Nick.
Nick.
Freak
doc.
Nick, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I got so many things. I'm just gonna look up his
Just
name and see what
Wait
he's
till
done
you
and
see
watch
what
it all.
Freaknik's about. You won't believe your.
Well, you
your
said
eyes.
2 Live Crew. I got an idea right there. Can I ask you guys a question? This
Just
sounds
turning
bad.
Freaknik into Beatnik.
Where can you?
Starts watching.
Oh, Rock, you went there. Okay. Where can? And this is a serious
Where
question.
can a white boy
and I'm
watch
sorry.
a Freaknik documentary?
No, that's not it. Where can you watch stuff that was on Showtime now?
On
It's not. It like
Showtime still
Paramount
exists.
Plus,
no,
Hulu.
I think you can get it on Amazon Prime through a Showtime.
Showtime
No,
exists.
because I started looking around for the
Showtime
Wu
doesn't
Tang
exist?
thing.
I know
No,
a
looking for
guy.
a
I know a
specific-
guy that's got some hookup. We can
Yeah,
talk
we
about it
know
after
what
the
you-
show. Yeah,
this
we talk
guy.
about it after the show.
You're going to North Korean jail, buddy. You hear that?
Yo, I need. Listen, City Pigeons people. I need a fucking illegal cable stream with this
Oh, I
Monday
got-
Night
All right.
Like,
Well,
I need,
got-
I
I
need
got it now.
something.
Hey,
check
I
out
don't know
an
anything
option.
about that.
You know,
We
I
got a
need
guy.
something where I don't have to pay anything, and it's a good interface. Like
we got a guy.
all the illegal shit I've seen, it's all corny. It takes forever to load. And
Well,
it looks like
the person
shit.
I know that's watching, he is sometimes behind a little bit, but he gets what he needs. You know what I mean? So,
That's
all
what I
right,
heard.
look, we got to
I
wrap
need
it up.
you to
This
help
is the
me
longest episode
stream
in some
illegal
time.
shit.
It's a great one.
Fink,
Listen.
thanks for joining.
Yeah, Fink, where you at? Fink?
Listen,
Shout
Wow,
out Pete.
shit, what-
Shout out Peter.
Fink dish us
Hey,
tonight. You
wait.
didn't even
Fink
fucking
did
show
diss
up
us
in the
tonight.
box.
If you did watch this, listen to this, enjoy it, do say hello, like something, subscribe. I don't know.
Come
whatever.
on Monday.
Share.
Come on
Come to
Sunday.
the party,
Yeah, come
hang
on.
out, tell us that you like it.
Check
so we
out
keep
Starting
going.
Five.
Gabe,
Give
go
us
to
And
that
bed.
check out
finger on
Starting
the
Five.
street.
Starting Five is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
amazing. You can't even you got the caliber of guys they have. It couldn't not be good. I guess you could film it shitty, but it's pretty awesome.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, I think that's gonna be it. Carry on, go Birds.
So long, everyone.
Let's take
Peace.
the NFC East by storm here this
Do, do,
week
do,
in
do,
Lambeau,
do,
and
do, do,
love
do.
everybody.